Most people aren't really going to live 10 years in the next decade. They're going to live 1 year 10 times. Same habits, same excuses, same income level, same level of effort, the same stories, repeating the same pattern, and then wondering why nothing changes. You can't call that growth. You can only call it survival. And if you want next year to be different, you need to understand something crucial. Standing still isn't neutral. It's expensive. Because while you stand still, the world keeps turning. Competitors improve, opportunities evolve, and time passes. And when time passes without you changing, the cost is invisible at first, but manifests later as regret. Regret for the opportunities you missed, conversations you avoided, skills you never developed. So let me be straight with you. Next year won't be better just because the calendar changes. January doesn't bring magic. January brings more of what you're already doing, unless you change what you're doing. Change is the only guarantee against regret. And here's the good news. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to stop standing still. Improvement isn't a luxury. It's a responsibility you owe to your future self. To be better than you are now, not perfect, just better. That's the only way to ensure next year brings you more rewards. Because rewards don't come by luck. They come from you becoming someone who deserves more. The seed of improvement is awareness. The moment you stop saying someday and start saying today, life begins to change. Growth doesn't wait for permission. It begins the moment you decide that comfort is no longer worth the price. So ask yourself now, how many times have you lived the same year? How many times have you promised yourself things would change only to revert to the same patterns? Because the truth is, you don't walk towards success by chance. You stray towards mediocrity. Success demands direction. And if you want next year to be different, you need to decide what needs to be different in you. The market doesn't care about your hopes. It responds to your values. Your relationships, your health, your income, everything reflects who you've become, not what you expected. So here's the starting line. Improvement. Improvement in thinking. Improvement in discipline. Improvement in focus. Improvement in execution. A good life isn't built on luck or the right timing. It's built on constant, intentional progress. The next 12 months will pass anyway. Whether they add something to your life or just wear it down depends on what you do with them. Time isn't your enemy. It's your amplifier. It multiplies everything you give it. Time invested multiplies reward. Time wasted multiplies regret. Standing still is very costly. Choose movement. Choose growth. Choose to build a year that rewards effort, not one that provides excuses. Where to begin? All improvement starts with discipline. Without it, nothing holds together. Ambition fades, plans crumble, motivation disappears. Discipline is the foundation of progress. Many people misunderstand this. They think discipline is punishment, but it's not. Discipline is training. It's the bridge between what you want and what you can achieve. It connects desire to results. Every success story is built on this bridge. Discipline starts small. How you begin your morning, how you spend the first hour of the day, whether you show up on time, whether you do what you promised yourself after the excitement fades. These small acts, repeated daily, shape a life. I used to believe that success required enormous effort in short periods of time. Work hard for a few weeks, then relax. But I learned that true progress comes from daily, constant, and consistent discipline. It's not occasional heroics. Missing a day doesn't seem like much. Missing a week seems like little. But if you miss a month, your old habits return to reclaimed ground. Discipline demands payment up front. Comfort demands payment later with interest. Every time you choose the easy way, you make a silent agreement to face harder consequences later. Every time you choose discipline, you buy freedom. Freedom from regret, from mediocrity, from dependence. Start with a small commitment. Get up when you say you will. Read 10 pages every day. Save a small portion of your income. Move your body for 20 minutes. The action itself is not the victory. The habit is. The moment you can trust yourself to see something through to the end, you've built the foundation for all other goals. Discipline doesn't mean controlling everything, but rather mastering yourself enough to make consistent choices that align with your goals. That's the silent force behind every strong life. The athlete trains when no one is watching. The entrepreneur studies while others are having fun. The leader prepares before the meeting begins. These aren't dramatic moments, but they are what differentiate the good from the excellent. And here's the truth. Nobody can give you discipline. Only you can build it. Others can inspire you, but only you can do it. Without a coach, without a mentor, no manager can do push-ups for you. You need to decide who's in charge, you or your impulses. Discipline gives you confidence. Confidence doesn't come from praise or luck. It comes from the feeling of having done what needed to be done, of keeping the promises you make to yourself. You no longer need to pretend. You walk with a calm certainty because your habits prove your intention. Most people wait for motivation to act. It's the other way around. Action creates motivation. Discipline initiates movement, and momentum keeps everything alive. Once you create momentum, life becomes easier. Not because challenges disappear, but because you are stronger than them. So before the next year arrives, ask yourself, what disciplines should I implement? What behaviors, if practiced daily, would guarantee growth? Write them down, practice them, and protect them. Because when you lose discipline, you lose direction. Every dream you have depends on this single quality. Self-discipline is the root of self-respect. It's proof that you take your future seriously. The next step is to improve your focus. Focus determines the quality of your results. The mind is like sunlight, powerful when concentrated, harmless when scattered. Most people never reach their potential because they scatter their attention. So many things confuse movement with progress, noise with productivity, activity with achievement. Attention is the new currency. Every day, countless distractions compete to drain your mental account. The phone rings, the inbox fills, the mind wanders. Each interruption costs focus, and each loss of focus drains momentum. Improvement begins when you start managing your attention with the same care you manage your money. You wouldn't hand your wallet to a stranger, but many people focus their attention on anything that flashes. Every wasted hour robs you of the future you're trying to build. The key is not to do more, but to do less, but with more clarity. When there is clarity, results multiply. Confusion divides them. When the mind is divided, effort loses strength. A divided effort produces half the results regardless of the energy spent.
Think of a laser and a light bulb. Both use energy, but one cuts through steel while the other barely illuminates the room. The difference lies in the focus. Life works the same way. Concentrate your energy on what truly matters, and the results will be extraordinary. This year, decide what truly deserves your attention. Every yes should have 1,000 silent no's behind it. You can't chase every opportunity. You can't answer every voice. Every time you say yes to something trivial, you say no to something significant. The world rewards specialists, not generalists. Mastery requires focus. Amateurs stay busy. Professionals stay effective. It's better to master one vital skill than to learn 20 halfway, because focus not only multiplies performance, it multiplies time. Here's a truth to remember. Busyness is the enemy of progress. Most people fill their days with tasks that make them feel active but not effective. The goal is not to stay busy. The goal is to stay productive. Every moment spent reacting to noise is a moment stolen from creation. Protect your mental environment. Start your day before the world invades. Think before turning on the television. Read before checking messages. Reflect before responding. Create before consuming. Control what goes in, and you will control what goes out. Improvement doesn't come from doing more. It results from focus. Energy scattered across many fronts leads to exhaustion without progress. But energy directed toward a clear goal generates momentum that multiplies. Every distraction carries a hidden cost, the postponement of your dreams. Every interruption you tolerate increases the distance between you and your potential. So learn to protect your focus as if it were a treasure, because the coming year will not reward the most talented, but rather the most focused. Attention, when well managed, can transform ordinary effort into extraordinary success. Now let's talk about energy. Your energy is the foundation of all performance. You can't build a strong year with a weak body. You can't lead others when you can't lead yourself. Fatigue diminishes ambition. A clear mind within a healthy body creates drive. Your body is the engine that powers your dreams. When the engine malfunctions, all other areas of life slow down. You think slower, act slower, decide slower, and respond slower. I used to think that success required only mental strength, but energy is more than physical. It's the combination of emotional, mental, and spiritual strength. When your energy is low, everything seems difficult. When your energy is high, everything seems possible. The first investment for the coming year isn't a new goal. It's a renewed vitality. Without energy, even good intentions crumble. With energy, even the smallest efforts multiply. Start by sleeping. Most people see this as a nuisance, but sleep is the mind's reset button. You can't work indefinitely amidst exhaustion. The body accumulates all unpaid rest debt. Eventually, it exacts its price in the form of burnout or loss of clarity. The most productive people are not those who never rest. They are those who rest strategically. Then comes nutrition. The body cannot function with bad food and stress. Food is not just pleasure, it's fuel. Bad fuel means lack of focus. Eat to perform, not to comfort yourself. What you consume strengthens or weakens your body. And then there's movement. The body was designed to move. When you move, you circulate energy. You strengthen discipline. You remember that movement creates impact. A walk, a stretch, a few minutes of deliberate exercise every day. Ultimately, it's not about perfection, but about consistency. Energy management is more important than time management. You may have 12 hours available, but if your energy runs out, your hours will be useless. Protect your energy as if it were capital. Spend on what multiplies. Avoid what depletes. Even your emotions affect your energy. Worry, anger, resentment, they are costly. They drain your energy faster than physical work ever could. Gratitude, on the other hand, renews energy, as do enthusiasm, purpose, and laughter. The coming year will demand more of you. More focus, more creativity, more stamina. Don't expect to grow if your energy remains low. You can't perform at your best with a body that's constantly asking for help. So take good care of it. Feed it properly. Give it adequate rest, and move it daily. And watch how all other areas of your life begin to improve. Now, we need to talk about money. Money is a mirror. It reflects your habits, not your hopes. It reveals the truth about your discipline, your priorities, and your thinking. You can't improve your life without improving how you handle money. Financial improvement doesn't come from luck, but from control. If you don't control your money, money will control you. Most people don't have income problems, but rather management problems. They earn, spend, forget, and then wonder why nothing grows. Wealth doesn't come from what you earn, but from what you keep. The habit of keeping part of everything you earn is the seed of independence. The moment you start saving, you begin to own your future. You stop trading peace of mind for a salary. Improvement begins with detecting and correcting leaks. Small leaks sink great ships. A few dollars here, a quick impulse there, a recurring expense never reviewed. Every careless purchase steals something more important: your freedom. Monitor your spending, not to restrict yourself, but to understand yourself better. Where your money goes, your attention follows. Debt is another silent drain. There are good debts and expensive debts. Taking out loans to increase capacity can be a smart decision. Borrowing to satisfy an impulse is not. Interest is the reward you pay for impatience. Learn to delay gratification long enough for your future self to thank you. Replace emotional spending with intentional investments. Don't buy to impress, buy to progress. Every purchase should increase your capacity, broaden your horizons, or enrich your life in a significant way. If it doesn't do any of these things, ignore it. You will never regret the money you didn't waste. Financial growth begins in the mind. The mindset of someone who is broke says you can't afford it. The mindset of someone who is rich says how you can afford it. The first closes doors, the second opens possibilities. Learn to think like a builder, not a consumer. Builders multiply, consumers eliminate.
Your money habits create your financial destiny long before your income increases. Mismanage a small amount, and more money will only worsen the problem. Handle it wisely, and you will prepare yourself for greater responsibility. Learn the basics of budgeting, saving, and investing. You don't need to be an expert, but you do need to be intentional. A plan, even a small one, is better than none. The goal isn't luxury, it's stability. Once stable, you can expand. And here's something most people forget. Money multiplies for those who respect time. The sooner you start saving, the more time will multiply your efforts. Compounding isn't magic. It's discipline combined with patience. Don't envy the possessions of others. Most things that seem like wealth aren't. True wealth is silent and manifests as freedom of time, peace of mind, and the ability to help others. The car disappears, but freedom remains. As this year draws to a close, take stock. Know where your money is going. Stop the leaks. Build a reserve. Create a plan. And when the next year begins, let your finances reflect wisdom. Money, when well managed, becomes a servant that builds your dreams. When poorly managed, it becomes a master that steals them. The choice is always yours. Here's something extremely important. You must not only improve, but also protect your environment. Your environment shapes your direction. The people you spend time with, the conversations you have, the standards you accept. All of this creates the atmosphere in which your future grows or dies. You cannot improve your life by remaining in relationships that drag you down. Every association exerts influence. Some people lift you up, others support you, and others silently drain you. Improvement requires awareness. Ask yourself, who brings energy to your life and who drains it? Who challenges you to grow and who tempts you to settle? Because the wrong circle can make the right goals impossible. Nothing affects ambition like the company you keep. An unfavorable environment will convince you that average is enough. Stay in it long enough and you will begin to advocate for mediocrity. But when you surround yourself with people who expect excellence, you begin to expect it of yourself. Improving yourself here means pruning. It means having the courage to walk away from relationships that limit you. It doesn't mean judging others, but rather protecting your potential. Growth requires space, and sometimes you need to free up that space yourself. Choose to spend time with people who make you better simply by being around them. Those who talk about ideas, not gossip. Who plan for the future, not complain about circumstances. Those who remind you of discipline, not distraction. Your environment goes beyond the people around you. It includes what you read,
what you watch, where you work, and how you spend your free time. Everything that enters your mind shapes it. If you fill it with negativity, you will think small. If you nourish it with wisdom, you will think firmly. You can't plant roses in concrete and expect them to bloom. The soil matters, as does the climate and the care. Your potential needs the same, an environment of encouragement, challenge, and belief. There is also the environment within your own mind. The thoughts you repeat daily either build walls or open doors. Improvement requires organizing your thoughts just as you cultivate your relationships. If you want to live better, think better. Honestly assess your circle. Who are you learning from? Who holds you accountable? Who would tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable? Growth thrives on honest reflection, not flattering comments. If your current environment doesn't support your next level, you'll need to overcome it. This might mean less time with certain people, less exposure to certain conversations, and more time in solitude for study and reflection. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's building time for the mind. The strongest people aren't those who isolate themselves from the world, but rather those who carefully plan their world. They choose associations that fuel purpose. They build environments that facilitate success instead of striving harder. Before the new year begins, cleanse your environment. Remove everything that weakens you. Strengthen what builds you up. Create a space where excellence is the norm and growth is natural. You rise or fall according to the level of your environment. Build an environment worthy of your potential. And now the final part, responsibility. Information doesn't change life, execution does. You already know what needs improvement. Discipline, focus, health, money, relationships, skills, habits, mindset, purpose. The question now is, will you act? Responsibility is the bridge between intention and achievement. Without it, even good plans fade away. The human mind forgets promises more quickly. That's why you must anchor goals to action and action to the schedule. What gets measured gets done. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Start small, but start now. Choose one area per week and work on it. Read a book about money. Correct the habit that drains your time. Seek help from someone who inspires you. One step per week, 52 steps in a year, and your life will be completely different. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. The coming year will reward consistency, not intensity. It's not a gigantic effort that changes everything. It's the silent daily continuity. Take responsibility. No one else will care as much about your life as you do. Don't blame circumstances, the moment, or others. Responsibility is the starting point of transformation. The moment you take full responsibility, excuses lose their power. Responsibility means facing the mirror without trembling. It means being honest about where you are and disciplined about where you started. Growth demands truth, not comfort. Find someone who holds you to your word. A mentor, a partner, a group. Tell them your goals and ask them to check on your progress. Pressure can be a gift when it keeps you aligned with your potential. And track your progress. Write everything down. Numbers tell stories. When you see improvements, even small ones, motivation grows. When you see a slippage correction happen, a written record becomes your personal scorecard. Next year, hope won't be rewarded. Habit will be rewarded. No excuses will be accepted. Execution will be valued. Improvement isn't an event, it's a daily process. Either you reinforce your future or you repeat your past.
Don't wait until January for change. Start before the calendar changes. When the new year arrives, let it find you when you're already in motion. Because if you don't act now, the momentum won't find you later. Small daily disciplines generate invisible progress until one day the results appear, and everyone calls it sudden success. But nothing happens suddenly when it comes to success. It's achieved silently, one conscious choice at a time. So make next year your year of accountability. Review this list frequently. Choose one thing. Improve it. Move on to the next step. keep repeating until progress becomes natural and growth becomes expected. Time will pass anyway. Make sure it passes in your favor. The next year starts now.